Gotta get in there.
Oh no!
Get in
it's
there.
so nasty in here. It's so warm.
Just get that leg, that giant sausage. Yeah, moon.
Wait, is this the wrong Go Gone?
Oh no, this is the right Go
Oh my
Gone.
gosh, Ben, you
That was glorious. What a
abused
glorious
me.
entrance.
Oh.
All right, ready?
Okay, we're ready.
Woo!
What's up,
We need this.
everybody?
Ladies and
You don't need
G's, how's it going?
Wow, that was fun.
That
I also
was-
feel high right now
I
after
feel
watching
very
that movie.
high. That was an LSD trip.
After that end credits scene, like what
That
the
was-
crap?
that
That was
a
a
drug
stoner's
binge.
movie.
It was. It really was. It reminded
Stoner
me.
comedy.
It was I was reminded of Shaun of the Dead a lot.
Yeah.
I don't remember Shaun
But
of the
this
Dead
had
either.
I don't know, I love this had like I thought almost better dialogue in some sense than
The Shaun of the Dead. Yeah.
I don't know, I love the the vibe of the movie.
Shaun
There
of
was
the
so
Dead is
many
a classic.
there were so many funny parts. Like
There really were.
just in the music, the way the music went with the scenes and like it was hilarious.
I don't think it's S-H.
Michael's trying to look up Shaun of the
there.
Shaun of
How
the
do you
Dead.
spell Shaun? There's like 10
there's
different
three
ways.
different ways to
Oh.
spell
Yeah,
Shaun.
this
But
is
yeah,
a pretty-
it's got the dry humor, some of the
They were both kind of like in Shaun of the Dead. It was more just they were like kind of aimless, is what this kind of says.
yep.
It was just kind of sad.
It's true. It's true.
And then
But yeah,
they
this-
were just high.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, but yeah, this is such a fast-paced movie.
Yeah, very fast paced.
Really fun dialogue.
Yes.
Of course, pretty terrible plot, but like the
Yeah.
fun and comedy really made this
What
a
did
good
you
movie.
expect?
Pretty
And it's
funny
like,
at
yeah,
times. The
I
script
mean,
is
we're
pretty
not
funny.
expecting like a very mind-bending plot for
The-
a zombie
yeah.
movie. We went in knowing, okay, this
It
is
was-
gonna be
This right here,
wild.
this
Yeah,
poster.
the poster
tells you everything
Tells
you
you
need to know.
everything. Just a hole through somebody.
It looks like a lady too.
Yeah.
It just everything is.
Just oh my gosh.
Apparently, there's a sequel coming out this year.
I
I'm
don't know if we
excited.
can even-
Go
I
Go
don't
Gone
know.
2. Oh, I'm all in. I'm all in.
2024, 2023.
Well, it said
It
December
took
of
them
this year,
10
which is
years
kind
to
of
do
crazy.
it, though. I don't know.
yeah,
what that
well, dude, it's like a
means.
Zombieland too. It took
Yeah.
them like 10 years.
Yeah,
to figure,
you're
to
right.
get
You're
a
right. It
sequel.
took them forever to
I
make a sequel.
suppose.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely like the Russian guy was,
He was
something
pretty funny.
else.
The dude,
Yeah.
the guy who acted as the Russian guy, he did a pretty
When
good job.
when the one guy was like, what did he say? There was like, I think there's a little deli in here or something. He's like, wait, no. And then, that was
and then
so
he
funny.
switched immediately.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, you know what?
Saifi
Yeah, but I
Al-Khan.
tried to
Oh.
be right.
Well, yeah, there you go. Well done to him. I mean, whatever he was in. Yeah, he's definitely an intimidating kind of guy. His
Yeah.
eyes are very interesting too. Like it's a very just got a very interesting face shape. I think. Like
Yeah, he worked.
He's
His
intimidating,
acting
yes.
was great in this movie.
it was fun.
So fun and cheesy.
It was fun. Director writers were the same as well, which you can
Oh,
kind
that's
of
always a
tell.
good sign,
It definitely
yeah.
felt very fun, very fast paced, which I very
Yeah.
much appreciate. This movie knew what it was, and it didn't take itself seriously because it knew it wasn't intended for that.
Mhm.
It was silly and just kind of a fun, lighthearted movie.
Yeah,
So
very good
totally,
practical
I
effects
liked.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like-
it was disgusting practical
I
effects.
was
when you're
thinking-
disgusted, that
Yeah,
means
yeah,
they did a
yeah.
good
Since this
job.
is kind of an older movie, I was thinking, oh boy,
Yeah, there could be some.
they're gonna try to use CGI or something, and it's gonna look terrible.
Right.
But it looked like a lot of it was practical effects, and yeah, it was really really well
And
done
I think
in that.
a lot of Indian movies
aspect.
tend to jump around in terms of tonal. There's a
Yeah.
lot of tonal shifts that sometimes are not great, well executed.
That we're not used to.
But I
yeah.
think this one really was well executed in that it didn't have any tonal shifts. It kept the same
it was
tone.
comedy
It was
and
silly
gore.
throughout,
Like
yeah.
that
Yeah.
was the main.
But that's what I
things.
think that in this type of movie, if there was a super dramatic scene,
Yeah.
I would have not liked that.
Well,
part.
and even when he was like fake crying to like, well, I mean, maybe he was
Right.
really crying, but
Yeah.
that scene where
funny.
he was crying about his ex and stuff,
was hilarious.
to try to get the
It,
other
like,
girl to
hit
kind
swipe
of
pan.
Yeah, the swipe pan to the
How
the
great is
memories.
that?
Yeah,
That's so
the
great.
editing. That's another thing. The editing in this
Yeah.
movie was hilarious.
Right,
Like,
right,
you
right.
could tell they were having fun with the edits. So
They
like,
really
okay, let's
were.
throw in
Yeah.
some text here. Let's throw
Yeah.
in like
the title
this
cards
cut.
were cool. It was
Yeah.
the bloody title cards
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you see.
It was fun.
That was
Oh
pretty
yeah,
fun
all
there.
around a really good time.
I would say that it accomplished what you were expecting, and nothing more, really, nothing less.
Yeah.
So I would say I definitely went into it expecting a fun comedy.
Yeah, I was not expecting it to be this funny though. To be honest,
I wasn't either.
I was laughing so hard in some parts, like
you were
more than
yeah. There were some
more than
silly
other
parts,
more than other Indian movies I've seen.
It was
Just
so silly,
like silly stuff, and it really hit my funny bone. So,
it tickled the funny bone in you.
Yeah, it did. But yeah, I thought this was really fun. I would definitely watch the second one. That's for sure.
I don't know if I'd watch the second one. I don't know how
Ben's
far
not
they can
about
go.
the.
I'm not a huge fan
and
of
the campiness. I guess.
Here's the thing. I do like Shaun of the Dead, and I like.
You do?
What's the next one?
I didn't know you liked
I can't
that.
remember.
Ben, I never heard your thoughts
Hot
on
Fuzz. I love Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz wasn't zombies though.
That's true.
Okay.
I'm
I didn't
usually
know
not
you
a
liked that
huge
type
fan
of
of
movie.
zombie movies.
Yeah.
Zombieland was all right. But I mean, this one was very, like we said, the effects were so nasty that it's like you gotta give them props.
Yeah, the gore,
in that
the
regard.
intestines.
Yeah.
the
So they took their
nasty-
time for that, for the effects, and the characters were pretty established. As kind of the.
I think the best guy, in my opinion, was the love guy.
Yeah, he was fun.
Veer Das. I think he acted the. Oh, he's a comedian. Oh, he's got a Netflix special. Oh, dude,
we gotta watch some of
That's
this Netflix
why.
stuff. Oh my goodness.
am I always in trouble?
Oh my
Interesting.
gosh.
So he's a comedian.
We should totally look into this.
Wow, that is
That is good
great.
stuff.
So let me tell you, I just from his physical
That makes
comedy makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I thought the Boris guy was
was good.
ridiculous.
They were all so fun.
was
Bunny, it
ridiculous.
was hilarious in some parts.
Bunny was like,
the little like screams.
right.
Yes.
I
He was the comedic relief, like
Yep.
and which it was self-aware because he was like, "I'm the comedic relief."
Yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
That
That's
was
true.
funny. But but the reason why I thought Love was so good is that he was really funny, but he wasn't the comic relief. He was just you could tell he was
just
a comedian.
naturally funny. Like he wasn't trying too hard.
Yeah, because he would just do a little thing and you'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's hilarious," you know? Like it was just like his facial. Like he'd be like, and then just drop it. You know,
the
and
one scene
it was
where
so great.
where Boris was trying to figure out if was it Love? No, it wasn't Love who was the zombie. He was trying to figure out if the one guy was a zombie.
Yeah.
And Love keeps whispering in her. He's like, I don't think he's a zombie. And like they play that scene was just so well done.
That was so
Times tables up to 14.
That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
That was pretty funny.
What's the capital of Uganda?
And he's like, why did
Uganda.
you say? He's like, why?
There were some good script moments for sure.
There really was. There was a lot
why I
of
loved it so
fun,
much.
scripts and stuff like that. It was a lot of carnage. It like Ben said, it was really what it was. It did it well.
Here's where I differ from you guys. So I think it felt long to me, even though it's an hour and 50
Really
minutes.
Interesting.
That's the big
my.
difference because I felt it dragged on a bit because they were just kind of walking and back and forth. And I can watch a slow movie with the best of them.
Yeah, like
But this one I felt was a little bit
Killer.
repetitive in terms of
It was repetitive. I think I agree with that.
But that's my probably my main. Otherwise, in terms of what it was and what it needed to be, it certainly accomplished that.
Yeah.
So
I do agree. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
I like the critiques. What do you
Well,
guys think in the comments below?
Yeah,
Yes.
let us know what you think.
No,
of
this is
movie.
rated 6.4, so it's not like it
Wait,
was.
6.6,
Wait, is it?
right?
It's 6.6.
6.6.
Okay,
Yep.
6.6. So it's not
On
like it was
IMDb.
rated extremely high. I feel like with comedy, it's really hard to have a universally
it's true.
comedic movie.
Agreed. Unless there's a deeper message or drama behind it, it's for a straight comedy. It's very difficult.
Yep.
Even Zombieland is like pretty lowly rated.
Yeah.
I think.
I think
it's
if
like
I'm
a
not
7.
Yeah, it's not extremely high. I know. Shaun of the Dead is 7.9 or something like that.
Shaun of the Dead 7.9.
That's mostly because it's a cultural classic, maybe.
Yep.
Closer to that. Oh, there we go.
Zombieland
the
is
first one.
7.6.
Oh, wow. So it
What's
is
the second one though? The second one
Second
though.
one was not
it's
nearly as
gotta be
good, I don't
much
think.
lower.
Oh,
6.7.
6.7. That's a big drop.
Yeah.
Double tap.
Yep.
I remember
Yeah.
that. I don't think that was even worth.
It was not that great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well,
What do you guys think? Should we give our ratings?
Yeah, let's give our
Yeah,
ratings.
sure.
I gotta
Okay.
actually open Letterboxd now and actually rate it.
Oh yes, after Ben followed Martin Scorsese.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Also,
Martin,
we
if
should
you're
talk
watching,
about Killers
Martin-
of the Flower Moon briefly.
Oh,
Martin,
yeah,
if
after
you're
this,
watching,
yeah.
if you're watching, Marty,
Special bonus
follow
content.
us.
Yes, Marty.
Goa
Letterboxd.
Go
Okay.
Gone. All right.
You guys
I
ready?
am going to.
Here
Yep.
we
Okay.
go.
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
3.5.
Three.
Oh,
Fair enough.
yeah.
That's
I
fair
kind of
enough.
knew that's
Right
what
where
it
we
was.
were.
3.5
3.
for Mike and I, and then
Yeah.
3 for Ben.
Yep.
That we could tell that. I mean, that just made sense. I think it was just
Yep.
fun.
Yep.
It wasn't anything special.
Yeah, it was pretty shallow, but it had some fun comedy.
Right,
and
yeah.
Fun scenes.
It was just kind of.
Yep.
It's kind of like the.
It was
They're
a
not gonna-
public service announcement at the end. Don't do drugs.
But if you do them well.
Alcohol is bad, but weed is actually good.
Yeah, that was
which
a
is actually
wild-
funny.
I
'cause
actually
that's
agree with.
I
dude.
do too.
We like that's like
you're
a.
not wrong.
That is a thing that's like very interesting culturally in
Yeah.
America. Is that like alcohol is so okay.
It's easier
I
to
know.
abuse alcohol than
way more dangerous. Way more.
Yeah.
We're getting on a thing. They're probably gonna get
Yeah.
hate in the
Oh
comments.
boy, yeah. Let's not go into it too deep. But
Yeah, don't go into
But-
this too much.
Anyways,
Yeah.
we'll move on.
We'll move on.
But yes, we kind of agree with the
Let's just say we kind of, not fully.
Yeah,
not fully.
Yeah,
No.
there you go.
There's negatives.
You
for
too.
Sure, to both. Oh,
We don't condone drugs,
Yeah.
and if you do them all. No.
What?
That's even.
Wait, hold on. Before we end the episode, though, we gotta talk
yeah.
about Killers
Oh,
of the
yeah,
Flower Moon
yeah.
Yeah,
briefly.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yes, Killers of the Flower Moon and American. Yeah,
Scorsese,
Martin
yes.
Scorsese, one of the biggest directors in the universe, American directors.
Yes.
A new movie came out,
Yeah.
3.5 hours long.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I
Long
didn't know. I
movie.
did
We
read
saw it
it.
at like we saw it pretty late at night, and when we got out, I mean, it was almost midnight when we
I
got
will
out.
say though, I didn't even have to have caffeine.
I
to
know,
stay
and
up
I didn't
somehow.
either, which I was surprised. I thought I would be drifting off to sleep.
Well,
but
I didn't
the
tell
dialogue,
you guys, but yeah,
you did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I watched it before them, and I didn't
Yes.
want to say anything because it is
Yeah.
a really well done movie.
This movie is very, very slow, but somehow if you're into it, and
Yeah.
if you get engrossed with the story,
Right,
it pulls you in.
it does.
Yeah.
It's slow in a good way because
Yep.
it allows the characters to just the story
really
really
develop
to
on
just
their
kind
own.
of
Yeah.
take hold
Yeah.
and it's fascinating, and it's also very sad, and
Yep.
you know the outcome, what the outcome will be,
Mhm.
and you're just kind of like watching a slow decline and a slow
Yeah.
yeah.
And
But
it's
it's not
crazy
all bad.
how-
It's not all bad though. It doesn't it doesn't end in complete misery. It
Right.
ends in a
With
very, I thought, a
suitability,
very
yeah.
bittersweet way.
Yep.
Ended
Yeah.
well. Ended justly almost in a way, bitter justly because it wasn't
Right.
complete justice.
Yeah,
but
there wasn't complete. It was
Right.
interesting to see how like what happened at the end and with how everybody ended up. But it was like, oh, it's interesting how. Well, I don't want to get into spoilers. But
and it was interesting on
there was-
historic.
very
I
historic.
was
I
not
love.
aware of this story.
I know. I was like, I was
Yeah.
like blown away by how. Like I've never heard of that before. The whole
Yeah, it's really sad
Osage,
to hear about, and yeah,
Indian tribe and it was
basically Osage Indian tribe used for their money and their land
Right.
by
Right.
these
Right.
yeah.
Native American in the comments.
Yep.
I know you guys already commented, but indigenous to America,
Yes.
Indians.
Yes.
Yep.
So the comments are already.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was a very interesting story that now it's not. By the way, it's not completely a true story, but the true part is what happened to the
Osage
tribe.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro's character isn't a real person.
Mm.
They just it
interesting.
was more.
It was basically it was
But
like
there
it
was
a
there was
phenomenon.
emblematic
of the
crimes and
crime.
everything
Yes.
that was happening in
heightened
that
crime.
town.
Everything else was the same. It
Yeah.
wasn't like one big conspiracy with like a kingpin,
Okay.
but it just happened all the time
Right.
in that community.
Okay.
And so that's
that
why.
makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
But it is a wild story, and I loved it. I thought
Yeah.
I would see it again, even though it was a really
Yeah.
long
Wow.
movie, very
Yeah.
slow movie. But I would see
I mean,
it again.
it's such a good
It's like his
history
prior
lesson
movie.
too. You're learning something as you're watching. It's not like a Marvel movie where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is just cheesy.
Yeah.
You know, I gain nothing from watching this. But
Right,
like with this, even if you think it's slow in some parts, you're still like learning a lot about real history.
right.
and something that I had never even heard about before. So it's really good to get that perspective and learn more about that.
This brought up such great discussions in the car ride home because Sadie, my wife, did not like it. Her friend liked it, and I really liked it. And so it was interesting to discuss kind of our differences in where we thought the story was going to go. But I was wondering with you guys, do you think that, this is a semi-spoiler, do you think that DiCaprio knew he was poisoning his wife?
That's really interesting.
So, yeah.
I
think he did too.
But I think
but
what
he chose
did,
to block it.
I agree.
I think he mentally. I think he
he
mentally told himself
When
so
she
many
said-
times that
Yes.
it wasn't
Oh my God.
poison that he started to believe what he was telling him.
Yes,
because he
which
took
is
a shot in the
fascinating.
whiskey.
Yep.
Remember,
Yes.
he
He's
poured
like,
it in.
it's not gonna it didn't kill me or whatever.
So that's why I thought, like, dang, he's such a good actor because you
Yeah.
can tell that from just his emotion.
Yeah.
It's like he's like, oh, I don't like this, you know.
He chose to kind
Yeah.
of block that aspect of it out. Which
The
is
fact
just,
that he knew that he needed to do,
that was
Crazy.
very interesting and also
Crazy.
very sad to watch because his
I
wife
know.
is just like
That was
slowly
what kept you so
deteriorating. And,
It kept you so engaged, though. I thought that's what was so interesting.
Yeah.
Which is what was good about that is that even though it's a long movie, it kept retention really well. I thought that's kept you engaged with the story. You're learning, intense. What's going to happen? You know, keeps you there, and then to the ending.
Yep.
So, anyway,
really.
Yeah,
good
I would
stuff.
say it was close. It's the same length I think as The Irishman, which came out I think last year, which is his last movie. I'm pretty sure, or maybe it was a couple years.
That was a couple years ago.
But it was a slow burn,
Yep.
like that one. That one's more of a mob or like an.
I actually like
exploration
this one better than The Irishman.
Interesting.
A little bit.
Okay.
I think
It's been a while since I've seen The Irishman,
Yeah,
but that I felt like that dragged on more.
This
than
one I gave a
did.
4 out of 5. Really strong movie. I probably wouldn't see it again voluntarily, but if someone, it's just that kind of movie where you see it and you're like, wow, that was good. I'll probably never
I don't
see
need
it
it.
again.
Yeah, I agree though. I think I got one more in me.
Okay,
for it, though.
gotcha.
Yeah,
I
I would
wouldn't have a
probably
third
rewatch it. Yeah.
But yeah, what do you guys think?
But yeah,
What do you
check
guys
that
think?
movie out if you haven't seen it.
Let us
Killers
know.
of the Flower Moon.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know when it'll be out on
It's an
streaming.
Oscar
but-
nominee for
actually,
sure.
it'll be out on Netflix Apple TV in a few months, I think.
We have a Shania as well, guys.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yes, we have the Shania.
Please
It's
let
been
me-
hiding in the corner, but
Please don't hate our reviews.
watch Michael's
in the
music
comments.
video, by the way, where
Like
he
in the
uses
comments.
that Shania.
Oh, and you know what, guys? Like, we were talking about this beforehand. We should probably tell them. Like, we were looking at the analytics, and we realized on YouTube that everyone asks everybody to subscribe. So
Yeah, we're gonna do the inverse.
don't subscribe.
Yes, please don't subscribe.
Right.
because here's the thing, guys. It's
I'll
like
subscribe.
92% is not subscribed that watch our channel. So guys, like,
So, I
I
don't
know
know.
everyone tells you to subscribe, so we're gonna tell you not to subscribe because we think if we tell you not to, we think you will.
I think
I
the
don't think
reverse
it's so.
psychology
So
will
don't
work.
subscribe.
The reverse.
Subscribe.
reverse.
Don't
I'm
hit
just
that. Don't hit that big button. Oh crap!
big button.
The big red button.
Yeah, it's
See
tempting.
that? Yeah, I know you see that. Don't you dare do it.
Hey, now I want to hit that
No,
big
ready?
red button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the point. You ready for this? Ready for this? You wouldn't hit that red button. You wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Taking this too far, Michael.
Let us know. We love you
Give
guys.
us a little
Yeah.
tune on the Shania before.
It's too. I gotta weten it up. You gotta
Wetting it up?
You have
What?
to moisten it up.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta
I'm
moisten the tip.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
We're
Bye.
ending this. See you next time.
Yeah.